All right. Well, welcome everybody. This is Lee from CharityEngine. I am just trying to get us going here. Give me 1 second. Sorry, this was a slow roll. Here we go. Okay. Want to make sure everybody's seeing my screen. Okay, and you are. Excellent. We're going to get this started right now. All right. Took a little bit, but we're here. Welcome to today's webinar. I am Lee Kessler. I am the Vice President of Marketing here at CharityEngine, and I'm going to be guiding you through our newest release, and that is the Lunar Lander. This is the Lunar Lander Top 5 of the best features in our new release, which we codenamed Lunar Lander. Hopefully when you logged in Friday morning or late Thursday night, you saw a splash page informing you that the new release had gone up. And this is a little deep dive into what some of those mean. Obviously, we do a lot of upgrades and bug fixes. Many of that release were fixes that aren't things you would necessarily be able to enjoy and see, but but there are some pretty cool things, and I want to walk through those with you. So we're going to get started. Here are the 5 that we selected from today's for today's webinar, which is one, allowing teams within a team in peer-to-peer. So if you're using our peer-to-peer portal, then you'll be able to appreciate this tool. Creating badges for number of page views in peer-to-peer. Part of our attempts to create better gamification for users of peer-to-peer. Reassigning primary contacts for grassroots events. If you do grassroots events, and many of our clients do, and you have somebody who's doing it, and at some point they need to change the primary contact to somebody else, it's now a very easy switch to make directly within a button in CharityEngine. 4, I want to preview our new Outlook connector. This is just a preview. It's still in beta testing within us, but I wanted to show it because I think it's super exciting and something to be on the lookout, make your team aware of. And that is our Outlook connector, which means we connect your Outlook, if you use Outlook for email, directly into the CharityEngine CRM. And then 5th, I wanted to show a new capability, which is actually around our CMS capabilities. But what it does, and you'll see the example here, is creating unified websites for your events and your peer-to-peer and registration. And you'll see what I mean when we get to that. So the first thing I want to show you, and this is just a short webinar, doesn't take too long. If you have any questions, there is the question capability on the console. Just feel free to click that, and happy to answer any questions along the way or at the end. So the first thing we want to show you here is me. Just kidding. But also want to let you know that actually next week we're going to be at the Bridge Conference. If you're attending, please come up and say hi. We have a booth in the exposition area. But also we have a presentation Thursday, July 9th, 8:15 a.m. at the Bridge Conference, and it's called Ask a Whale. You may have seen some of the marketing, but it's going to be an unfiltered Q&A with some high net worth donors about their views of major gift and multi-channel cultivation. The plane for donor acquisition is changing, especially with high net worth individuals, and we want to talk with them about what is the best way to engage them so they know and are interested in your organization. So we'll be doing that, and I hope you join us. So the first thing I want to show you is peer-to-peer, is allow team within a team. And what this means is that a group can have team pages in support of events. So many of you with peer-to-peer have individual and team pages. But you now can have smaller teams that are connected to that big team as well. And the best way to explain it, perhaps, is in the case of the U.S. Postal Service might put together a team to support your run walk. But within each department, letter carriers, letter sorters, drivers, and IT services, they might want to each create their own teams to compete against each other. So to enable that functionality, very simple, within the CharityEngine, sorry, that's the wrong description is how to do it. You want to go to in your peer-to-peer pages. This should look familiar for configuring your CharityEngine peer-to-peer page. You go to the Options tab, the General tab, and you'll see Allow Team to Join Another Team, and you just click that button, and that will allow you to create multiple teams within teams. So not everybody's interested in it, which is why you have to select it, because for some of you, maybe your event may not be big enough to have that kind of functionality. You don't want to be breaking up people that way. But with a larger event like a big run walk where a lot of people participate, that might be appreciated. So cool new feature you may want to make use of. Also is creating badges for number of page views. And what's cool about this is we often reward people for how much money they bring in, how many donors they bring in, the fact that they even created a page. But what we want to do is reward them for their efforts in marketing you and for drawing attention to the event and working hard at promoting their personal fundraising page. So we've got a page view badge. And to do that, again, under configuring your CharityEngine peer-to-peer page within the management console, go to Advanced. This time go to Badges. You'll select Add. And then there will be a drop-down that shows Page View Threshold. It shows a number of different types of badges. This one is Page View Threshold. And then you can call that whatever you want, give it whatever title. We're calling it Top Promoter, might be a good example. And the description is that someone who's generated however many page views. In this case, we're saying our threshold is 20 page views. Give them a minimum to explain that. And then your icons that you would want shown, you can upload your icons using the choose file. So if you've ever created your own badges and you know how to do this, just wanted to point out that this is a great new thing to promote. And it also rewards people who are working hard and aren't necessarily generating the money or the donors, but trying to spread the message of your event. As I mentioned, grassroots events. If the main contact for a grassroots event changes, you can easily reassign the lead contact role to a new individual. And to do that, you just go to the grassroots event. We see the main contact who's there right there. We go to Actions, and it says Reassign Contact. Very simple to do, and draw it out a little bit more. So you just click on that button, and that will allow you to change it to somebody who's actually not already in the CRM. You just enter their, when it does it, it'll create the new person. So cool new feature for managing grassroots events that tend to change. Okay, so the very cool feature I wanted to show ahead of time here is our new Outlook connector. You don't have it yet, it is coming, but be prepared when it is, because you're going to want to use this. We're coming out of beta right now. And what it does is it automatically syncs your emails into your contacts record. So you see here, I've created an email to majordonor@corporation.com. And I've got my subject, I've got my cool feature, my text that I have within the email. There's a couple ways that I can make sure it gets tracked. First, I can go to that button right there on the top right where you see, and it says, and let me just move things on my own computer so I can see things more accurately. Right there, and it says track message or don't track message. So I can click there, I say track message, and it will track that message directed to, obviously majordonor@corporation.com would be the email that's currently in the CRM for that individual. It recognizes it, knows it's that person, and then will track and save this as an activity within their profile. Another way you can do it and control it is to select overall tracking for the contact. So here you'd recognize this with an Outlook. You have all the froms, the subjects, and the information. I go to the person's name. In this case, you see they're all me. But I right-clicked, and these are familiar looking options in Outlook: copy, quick print, reply, and such. The bottom, now that you have the Outlook connector in launched into your Outlook, says CharityEngine, and now it gives me these options. I can save this message and track the sender. I can track all communications with the sender. I could save this particular message, or if I'm tracking the sender or I don't want to track the sender ever, perhaps I'm sending this to my wife and there's no reason for her to be tracked in our CRM, I can just select Stop Tracking Sender, and this person will not be tracked in the CRM. So it gives you control, and next time I send an email to my wife, it won't send it to her. But if I've selected to track that person, it will always track them, which is great, because when you want to be able to go back, or your team needs to be able to go back and review interactions with an individual, you've got it stored in the CRM, and that's really what an integrated CRM is all about. And again, here's just a little closer up view of the options you'd have. And what's cool is then you're going to see it within the CRM. So in the case of, this would be under activities. So emails are being considered as activities because very often it's related to an effort as though you're having a meeting or a phone call with somebody. And we see here the different kinds of emails. It shows you the email title, was sent through Outlook. This is a send email. If I wanted to show my received emails, I just select that type. It shows that it's completed. It shows that I'm the one who sent it. And participating one, that will show, that number can change. That can be 2, 3, 4. That's how many people that email exchange is part of. So we click on there and we know who the person is. And this is all going to be reportable on. So that's also very exciting. If you're using opportunities, and we went over that in our last webinar, opportunities is our version of moves management. So if you're controlling an effort with a particular person, perhaps you're tracking a major donor and turning them from a prospect into a donor, this email interaction also gets placed into that opportunity. And you see that on the bottom one, and I'll zoom in here for a little bit better view. The first one was just a general email. But the one on the bottom, email to remember to meet me at the office, we now see the opportunity that this is connected to, which is this person is part of the American Testing Society. That's the opportunity. We're trying to close that donor. And the step. So I'm currently at the step of send follow-up materials and pricing. And so it's connecting the emails during that step with the person. So really amazing opportunity for tracking here that I think you're really your individual people in charge of individual giving are going to be excited about, but probably everybody will, because one of the neat things is how you start recognizing that somebody who may not be a big individual giver but is interacting with you a lot, and you notice other factors about them, they might be a good giver. And also it's a great repository for merely for customer support. If somebody has an issue, the same way you might call your credit card company, and they would be able to pull up your record and look at all the interactions you've had, whether phone or email. So it gives you that ability to do a little bit better customer service. So this shows all of my activities, and it's under the activities portion. I wanted to also show the activity as it is within the contacts record. So here we see a contact record. You're familiar with this, the contact's Charles Harrison. And under interactions, we have all the interactions you're used to. This is under activities. And you see here that now those email interactions with Charles Harrison are listed and part of his overall profile. So again, real cool feature. You're going to be seeing it very soon. And I want you to be prepared because I think this is probably a game changer. Very often people are forced to sort of copy and paste all their emails into the CRM. I know that's what happens in other organizations. I'm sure it's happening with you guys, and that is going to be a thing of the past. So extremely exciting, extremely time-saving, and great for overall management of your organization. So you heard it here first. That's what you get for sitting on the webinar. You're the first to know that you guys are going to be having this Outlook connector if you use Outlook. And the last thing I want to show is a real cool feature which is related to our CMS, and it allows unified websites for peer-to-peer events, etc. Anything you want to do. You can integrate multiple CharityEngine applications through a single CMS for a seamless website and user experience that are all feeding the CharityEngine CRM. This is, and I want to say thanks to our one of our clients, Special Olympics Maryland. This is they're one of the first to utilize this tool, and this is a website that they are building for an event they have coming up in October, the Maryland Rockfish Open. And I'm actually going to pull up their website. It's still in progress. There may be a glitch or two as we're building it, but I think this is exciting, and I wanted you guys to know about it because this is something we can now do. It used to be that if you were to have your event, that would be a website. And then you were to have the peer-to-peer, that would be a website. And you could make them look alike, but you had to each one build them to look the same. What we're now doing is unifying the CMS. You're able to bring the CMS over to each of these areas. and it truly creates a unified experience for the user, and best of all, the data is all integrated into that single CRM. So very exciting. So I'm going to pull that up right now to show you guys what I'm talking about. And if you're interested, if you have an event that's coming up and you're going to be doing multiple facets, this is something to get in touch with us about and see what we can do for you. So in this case, this is the home page. This is their event, October 10th, 2015, and it's a fishing tournament. So the first thing you'd want to do is register your boat. And here you go to a registration page, and it's going to collect all of that information. And we can even get the person's name, their shirt size, and they can purchase tickets to the event that's happening after if they need additional tickets. So this is, a form with transactions, and you're used to that. But you'll notice here it's web.charityengine.net is the address, and they would go ahead and fill out the form. We'll go back to the top, and then maybe they're not attending, they're not registering their boat, but they want to go to the post-event party. They're going to visit with their friends there. So we click there. And then that takes us, again, to a web Charity Engine form. And now people can purchase tickets just to the event. And then there's a tournament in a tournament. Again, another form. And they can fill this out. And they can register for the tournament within the tournament. Contact us now takes them to, you can see here, a different URL, but the experience remains the same. And the menu all remains the same, and they did not have to build out a new CMS. It is pulling the styling from the existing CMS that was used for these other ones. And then we see in the case of search and donate, if people want to give to peer-to-peer, they would do so here. What's going to happen is when they register their boat, at the end of submitting, the success page will say if you'd like to get into, I don't know if it's a success page or the email they receive after, but it's going to say if you'd like to create your own fundraising page, do so. So the neat thing, it's a seamless, integrated experience, and you can see up here the URL is now p2p.charityengine.net. So 3 of our applications were involved in this. Seamless experience, all feeding the same thing. So those are our new features from our new release, Lunar Lander. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you have any questions, I'm always available for you to answer, or you could type them into the question module right here. Again, lee.kessler@charityengine.net. If you're going to be attending the Bridge Conference next week, I hope you'll stop by our booth and say hi. I think a lot of you will be. And I do hope you attend our presentation Thursday morning at 8:15 a.m. It's the early one, but it's Ask a Whale, appropriate with the Rockfish Open here. Ask a Whale and a Q&A with high net worth donors about their views on multi-channel donation. Thanks for participating. If you have any questions, reach out to me, and enjoy using Charity Engine. We'll be in touch in 1 month with our next webinar on how to use the next release. Thanks.